So welcome back, everyone. I know that the lines are on fire here. So if you need to and you haven't gotten on and you want to call in still, please do. We're going to let everybody call in throughout the rest of the show for all of these things. So our number here is 602-277-5369 and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. I am really excited about bringing on my next guest because, well, he's going to find out soon that I could totally relate to him very, very well. Well, I have with me... and I'm going to say it the way he would like me to say it. He is, I have with me Mr. Young and here today and to explain the problems about and issues that will comfort when presenting a major claim. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of these different things, insurance claims and this. You also have your wife with you, and that is, she's your wife and partner, and that is Ray Beth Young. And she is also a specialist for, the name of the company is called Brown Ohaver, and I'm kind of looking for everything that we had here too. Just welcome to the show and tell everybody a little bit about yourselves and what you do. Go ahead.
My name's David Young, and I'm the humble guy, and welcome your calls. I'm a public insurance adjuster. I adjust insurance claims for insureds, as opposed to adjusting claims for insurance companies. We measure and document losses for insureds. Primarily, insurance adjusters and claim representatives work for the insurance company. We're one of the few who work for insureds. Now, many of us have the same licenses. Some have license, don't have licenses and pretend they do. But traditionally, we have the same licenses in Arizona as do insurance adjusters. And our license allows us to work for either the insurance company or the insured. Traditionally, though, if you start working for the insured, your history as far as insurance companies. We've made a business of just working for insureds. Our business model is to work, and has been for the last 28 years, to work only for insureds, claimants, people who are presenting claims to insurance companies.
Okay, and so you're here too, and part of your what is it that you do with the company there? Do you help with it, with people and their claims as well?
Yes, I'm also a licensed adjuster.
I need that mic turned on real quickly. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm also a licensed a public adjuster, and as the company grew, we've found out that we really needed to have a specialist in contents and personal property, and so that's my specialty. Is I help people do their inventories. Know what's covered under losses and get that part, the personal property of the claim taken care of.
I want to tell you that both of you don't know this, and I'm going to just say it so you know. I am a victim of the Northridge earthquake. I lost my house in the Northridge earthquake, so I know what it means by having to, being lucky enough to have had a public adjuster.
Yeah, so that was a lot of public adjuster activity then.
Oh yeah, but I mean, what I mean to say is that for me, I know how it would be if I did. I would have been probably much better off, and I want to explain that. We want you to explain what that means.
Ina DeLong, who was a employee of a major insurance company in California, wrote a protocol on how to deal with the Northridge claimants for this major insurance company. And she sent it out to, she was a senior manager for this company. She sent it out to all of the people that reported to her. And immediately the bosses from the company from the Midwest came in and gathered up all of those instructions on handle the claims and replaced it with other instructions. Like, for instance, they taught their adjusters the new information that they promulgated, taught their adjusters how to level pool tables. Not to do anything about the floor that had collapsed in the Northridge earthquake, but just to level the pool table so that the balls wouldn't roll from one side to the next. Obviously, that is an indemnification. Mm-hmm. Indemnification under the policy is to put it back the way it was before the loss.
Let me ask a couple of questions here off the cuff. Are you Valley-wide? Can you help anyone from anywhere?
I'm actually licensed in 9 states. Ray Beth here is licensed in, I think, 4. We measure and document state claims all over. There's different licensing requirements and different bonding requirements for different states. There are 800 public adjusters in California. I'm licensed as a public adjuster there. There are very few licensed or that serve as public adjusters in Arizona. Our license allows us to work for the insurance company or the insured. But yes, we do valley-wide. I mean, today I worked on a claim in Colorado. I worked on a claim in Utah today. But most of our claims traditionally are around here because we work on some of the smaller claims for homeowners.
If it's okay with you, I'd like to open up the lines to the audience too, just in case anyone has a claim. Get it out. Get your word, get some advice right here, a little bit of advice, or just want to tell a story. That's another thing, just a story. I mean, everybody has if you've owned a business or a home or something where your property has gotten damaged, we're going to let you call in. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. And I know our lines are busy right now calling with callers. If you get in, if we don't get you, we'll take your name and number, and we will get you connected with them so you can talk to them about it. Okay, so our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. I also want to kind of find out some information about you in terms of this. Licensed, bonded, insured, all of that's really important for them to know. Go ahead.
In Arizona, we're licensed as adjusters. But in California, Colorado, Utah, we're licensed as public adjusters.
Okay. And what number would they call you if they were going to call you to, directly? You have to do a consultation with people, don't you? Do you do that?
Well, we will do a free consultation, and people deserve to know there's so many options. So we're glad to let them know the options ahead of time. So I'm going to give us the local number, which is 480-424-3933.
Okay. And do you have a website?
Yes.
Okay. And that is?
www.brown, that's the color brown, and then a dash or a hyphen, ohaver, that's orange, honeydew, apple, vegetable, eggplant, radish.com.
Okay, let me give that information for you, too. So their number to call, because a lot of people, let me say, write the number down. You never know when something is going to happen, too. And especially right now, we're going to have some rain. We're going to have a lot of issues. So the number to call them is 480-424-3933. Their website is brown-ohavers, ohaver.com. Before we go to a break, I want to ask you to talk a little bit about restoration contractors and how they solicit things. Go ahead.
All right. Let me just also give you an 800 number we have, 800-350-9188. This program, of course, is unscripted, and we're taking somewhat of a different direction than I thought it would take.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get it all in here at the same time, and I got thrown with your wife in here, and I'm trying to as well. So go ahead.
Okay. One of the things we can talk about is what happens when somebody has a major loss. For instance, let's suppose somebody has a fire tonight and they wake up tomorrow. What's going to happen to them? How much time do I have, Carol?
Go ahead. Yeah, well, I'll tell you, about a minute and a half. Go ahead.
All right. Well, the first thing that's going to happen is they're going to be confronted with a number of contractors, restoration people are going to come to talk to them. As a result of the economic downturn, we have contractors just willing to do any kind of work, and they're chasing fires, they're chasing casualties, and they will be the people that will generally approach the insured. We always recommend get yourself a settlement first before you retain a contractor. And that's something that we can help with.
We're going to go to a break, and when we come back, I want to talk further. Our lines are open here, so if you want to call in, please do. Our number here is 602-277-5369. You can also call them. Their number is toll-free, 800-350-9188. You can check them out at brown-ohaver, is ohaver.com. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back, everyone. We were talking at the break a little bit about what people are really facing And they really, you said it's a whole new world. So please tell us what that means.
Well, what I meant with that is, people who have never had a loss, or even if they've had a little loss, have no idea what's going to happen if they have a large loss or catastrophe. And all of a sudden, they won't believe how many people are out there that make their business off of people's catastrophes. And let's face it, firemen make a business; they make their money from people who have catastrophes. The insurance companies do, the contractors do, the restoration companies do, and public adjusters do also. And so people ought to know that they're going to have all these people give them all kinds of advice, and it doesn't hurt to listen to everybody. It doesn't hurt to listen to the insurance company say, oh, you don't need any help, we'll take care of you. It doesn't hurt to listen to a contractor says, oh, you don't need anybody, I can do everything. But they ought to listen to everybody and then make their decision, because a good public adjuster, and I think that's what we are, our main goal is to make sure the insureds get everything that's coming to them. We know how to read the policy. We know how the game the people are going to do and how people feel to make sure they get everything coming to them they should. Plus, hopefully they can relax while we do all the work. So there's a different world out there. So listen to everybody and then make your decision after you've heard everybody, not the first person that shows up in front of you.
Right. I had said also at the break to you that I had been through this, so obviously we knew that, but that I wish I knew that I had rights to call, because everything, obviously when somebody has a disaster and they call, they're upset, they're nervous, they're upset, and so they just call their insurance company and they listen to them, right? And they don't realize, and I think that's what's wonderful about this show, is that you have the opportunity to explain to them, what they can do. So that's why I think that's part of why I'm having, being here too, is to be able to explain that. Go ahead.
Sure. Back to this contractors that come to you. We did a claim recently for a certified financial planner, very capable woman who became a very good friend of mine. I took her claim over after it had actually gone sour, but she had retained a contractor, and I have this work authorization and agreement right in my hands from this contractor. I won't say its name right now, but let me just read from this. She signs this agreement. This work authorization is all-inclusive and covers emergency services, content restoration, structural reconstruction, which will include both real and personal property. Owner expressly and irrevocably assigns all rights to insurance proceeds to this company and understands that owner is not entitled to any monies from the insurance company. This contractor came in and absolutely raped this poor woman. They charged her, how much for the inventory did they charge?
Just to do the inventory was like, I think if I remember, it was $25,000. But that's not the bad part. This contractor told another subcontractor the insurance company was going to pay it. So they just, wow, okay, we'll just build it up to pay for this this inventory. And then the insurance company says, no, we're not going to pay for that. So this woman had to pay for that inventory out of what would have been, policy money that she could have gotten.
And that was before it was too late at that point, right?
Yeah.
Well, we were able to obtain some monies, but the contractor had squandered all of the policy limits, so we had to look for coverages in other places. The policy provides a number of places where you can find additional coverage. Policy gives you code upgrades, demolition, landscaping, personal property, additional living expenses. There's all kinds of things in a general, or coverages in a general homeowner's policy. And frankly, to let these contractors look at those policies and it really does a disservice to the client. I think that's probably the number one problem we have in Arizona, and that's the unauthorized practice of adjusting by contractors, which seems to be I mean, it's just
rampant.
Highness, I guess the word is, if I'm saying that correctly. Very unfortunate what these people have to counter.
Well, they can help people valley-wide, also in other states as well. They are licensed there too. Their phone number is 480-424-3933. Toll free, it's 800-350-9188. It's Brown-Ohaver, and that's OHAVER.com. Going forward, go ahead and some of the other things that you wanted to get out.
Well, Carol, I have it right here, and we haven't talked about this, and like I say, this is take a little bit different turn, but that's fine. We need to kind of let people understand the world that's out there. Right now, I'm looking at a magazine called
Claims.
Claims is actually our trade magazine for insurance adjusters, insurance companies, and support industries, businesses that support insurance companies after a claim. Here, I go through this magazine every month, and I take out different ads. Carol, I'm going to show you this ad right here for a company that...
Well, we won't say the name of the company, but I'll read it.
Fair enough.
It says, how to lower the cost of claims. Wow. So you know what's happening.
Okay. And read that little part I outlined there.
Okay. We prove the theory that skilled adjusting can lower your cost of claims. Wow.
See, this is insurance companies are going to retain people like that prove the theory that you can, skilled adjusting can lower your cost of claims. Look at this one right here, property loss estimating software.
Mm-hmm. So there's even software that they can use to lower your reduce claims.
Yeah, I highlighted.
Right. It says property loss estimating software reduces claim settlement amounts. Okay. What else?
Okay. Here's what I think is a very unfortunate thing that insureds are faced with. This is from an engineering group, and look what they say.
It says trained to use their engineering skills effectively in giving insurers the highly professional insurance claim support they need to control soaring costs.
These are engineers that the insurance companies can hire to tell people that, or to give the insurance companies favorable reports. It's very unfortunate. Here's one more.
Okay. And this one says here, settle for less. And then it says less expense. And then in small writing, it says a new video-based seminar from the Prisms family of, I guess that's the name, family of insurance specific training programs used throughout the industry worldwide. So now there's training programs.
Well, the point is, this is an older ad. The point is that that's a new video-based seminar to train insurance company adjusters how to settle for
Amazing.
less.
So, yeah.
There, settle for less.
I think it's important to know that one time we were talking to an adjuster who had done it for years and years and years, and he said, I never meant to cheat the insured. My company always told me, pay what's fair, but never pay a penny more than they're due. Well, they're so afraid of paying too much and getting in trouble for it that they're always looking for ways to make sure they cut back and not pay more than they have to.
So you've been doing this for how long?
Well, this is our 28th year in business here. So I guess 28 years.
Right. And so let me also say this. So you're here, you feel that you said when you were on earlier too, that you're obviously very good at what you do and that you are reputable and honorable. And that's also very important for them to know when they're sitting here listening to what could happen to them. Go ahead.
Well, there's, there isn't a pancake so thin it doesn't have two sides. And I can tell you many, many capable and honorable and great insurance adjusters in the valley here in Arizona. But some of them work from a wrong premise. In order to be an adjuster in Arizona, you have to be licensed. If you're not licensed, you're a claim representative. Clearly a claim representative. State Farm does, and most of the major companies advertise that they have claim representatives. But there is a major company in Arizona that tries to knock off that adjuster title and award their adjuster or their employees adjuster titles when they haven't in fact earned them. And so the premise of the lie starts at the top. You can get on a Southwest airline flight and everybody's nice. You can get on a competitive airline company flight and everybody might be mad at you. Well, it starts at the top. Some insurance companies are harder to get settlements from than others. Some of them, go quite well. But everybody needs to have somebody take a look at their policy for them to see just what they have available.
And what are your final words?
Okay. I guess I better not use what I was going to use. Could take too long. But I was just going to say the reason we got into this business is because David's the kind of guy that's always wants to help the little guy. He's always fighting the big industry. And when we happened to get in this from a different way, and we saw the help that people needed in insurance, we just found a home, and we love helping people.
And there's a lot of people out there that could really use your help. Also, there's a lot of things that are happening right now with their roofs. Everyone's going to have the monsoons are going to be around the corner. A lot of other things that can happen to someone. Please call them. Their phone number is 480-424-3933. Toll free, it's 800-350-9188. It's brown-ohaver.com.